this is different, apples to oranges here, but
we were in the military, so the intense people, those are the kind of people we're used to. That's the kind of people that we enjoy being around. And Muss is just like that. He sounds a lot like a fucking drill.
So
a lot like a team leader, a lot like a section leader.
The adjectives and things that he was using to describe Musselman, because he said the same thing. He was like, I knew that he was intense, but he was like, coming in, I didn't know what to expect. He's like that 24/7.
Kick the tweezer story.
Well, oh yeah, but what I was gonna say is the way he described him, very Nick Saban-esque. Like,
for sure.
The intensity level, the expectations, the nothing is good enough, all that shit. The tweezer story,
very Jim Boeheim, very fucking Roy Williams, very
Bob Knight.
Oh yeah, on the cusp of just one of those greats.
He's got all, my opinion, he's got the intensity that everybody loved about Bob Knight, but somehow is still a player coach.
Yeah.
Situation.
He gets along very well with the players. He's a player first coach, but he will get in some ass.
Speaking of, we're in the men's practice, the men's court. We go over to this looks like a little whiteboard, and then you open it up. There's a smart board behind it.
This is on the court, mind you. So it's just a little place where you go up, you can draw up some plays. With the smart board, there's a whiteboard that comes out, and you can draw up some plays right there, and then you run it.
He was talking about Musselman's love for analytics, and he'd go over here on the smart board, middle of practice, do this.
Musselman loves the numbers.
And then as he's shutting the doors back to cover the smart board up, because you don't want to get hit with the ball,
right?
So he's shutting the doors. There's a little string thing that's hanging out with tweezers on it.
Looks like a little nylon rope hanging down with tweezers on the end of it.
So he has to open the door back up to get him to shut back in the door. And he's like, oh, this is kind of a funny story. He's like, when I first got here, he had these, and everybody's like, well, hey, like, he got done explaining everything. Didn't acknowledge the tweezers, from what I understand. One of the players, or a couple of the players, were like, hey,
what is that?
What's the deal with the tweezers? He was like, oh, well, if you don't do those things we just talked about, you're going to be using these for the rest of the season.
You're going to need these to get the splinters out of your ass.
Because I ain't putting you in the fucking game.
Because you ain't going to the game.
If you can't do these things right here, these tweezers will be to pick the splinters out of your ass because you'll be on the bench.
You're going to be on the bench the whole game.